This is Lakers News Fan Report, the channel where rumors grow a spine, schemes get receipts, and we turn hot whispers into cold plans. Smash subscribe, drop a like right now, and stay with me till the end, because I'm giving you everything. The rotation blueprint, the usage knobs, the shooting benchmarks, 2-minute maps that flip matchups in May, and the exact ramp schedule that turns nice depth into Western problem. If you click away, you'll see fragments on someone else's feed. If you stay, you'll own the full picture. Training camp is close enough to smell the hardwood, and there's a quiet move inside El Segundo that won't trend on X, but will tilt our season. Not a blockbuster, not a panic trade, a remodel. A deliberate rebuild of 2 roles that decide whether we survive Denver's physicality, solve Minnesota's length, and keep Dallas in rotation hell for 7 games. This is about turning a logjam into a lever. Context first. JJ's blueprint is out there. Pace that never panics, 5-out spacing without surrendering size, 2 stars who bend the court in opposite ways, and a defense that speaks one language. Early, loud, honest. DeAndre owns the paint like a bouncer with soft hands. Marcus Smart is the voice that turns scouting reports into habits. Austin Reeves is the connector who makes the extra pass look inevitable. Rui provides the stable mid-post diet, and then comes the hinge, the combo forward minutes that decide whether lineups breathe or suffocate. We're talking about 2 archetypes living in one rotation seat. One is a chaos wing who breaks actions with length, wins loose ball wars, turns a 50-50 rebound into a 70-30, and lives to guard the guy nobody else wants. The other is a spacing carpenter, cuts on the coach's count, relocates on penetration, screens like a grown-up, and cashes corner threes without blinking. One wins ugly, one makes ugly look organized. Both are playoff oxygen. This is not a bench fight for clicks. It's geometry. Put a non-shooter next to Smart and a big who doesn't stretch. You're daring defenses to camp in the paint. Put a shooter who can't survive switches against top wings. You're playing whack-a-mole in fourth quarters. The remodel is about making both profiles playable together, then choosing the right one on a whistle-to-whistle basis. Offense first. With Luka commanding empty side pick and roll and LeBron captaining second side triggers, the weak side forward must be an auto solution, corner spacer on shake, 45 cut when the low man shows early, ghost screener when the big plays up, and DHO outlet who doesn't hold the grenade, baseline out of bounds. Same deal, screen in for a hammer, slip to the dunker if they top lock, finish without bringing the ball down. The remodel raises the floor, not the ceiling, of every possession, defense next. The role demands a player who can stunt and recover, without false steps, tag the roller with the correct shoulder, switch late clock without fouling, and rebound in traffic like it's a paycheck. We need a nail defender who calls coverage before the screen arrives, and a backline helper who rotates across the lane without giving up the wraparound pass. The remodel isn't about highlights. It's about denying opponents their favorite. Calories. So how do we get there? 2 labs. The shooting lab, corner volume up, release quicker, dip controlled, prep steps clean. The contact lab. Absorb, don't bounce. Show your chest, not your shoulder. Hit and get on every box out. Rescreen on offense until a guard gets daylight. Add the 0.5 rule. Catch, decide in half a second. So the star engine never stalls. Stack these habits and the minutes pick themselves. Hear the breadcrumbs? Coaches talking about 12-minute bursts instead of long stints. Player development staff emphasizing body quietness on catch and shoots. Conditioning team measuring second jump windows on rebounding drills. This is what a remodel looks like from the inside. Nothing flashy, all intentional. When it shows up on TV, it looks like effort. In reality, it's engineering. All right, time to say it out loud. The 2 names at the center of this remodel are Jake Laravia and Jared Vanderbilt. Let it settle, not as a headline, as a fit. Because if Jake becomes the 38-41% corner sniper who relocates like a veteran and survives the first shoulder from bully wings, we weaponize 5 out without sacrificing size. And if Vando becomes a 33-35% corner threat who cuts with purpose and short rolls with 2 reads instead of 1, we can throw the best perimeter defenders at Luka and LeBron and still make defenses pay. The job isn't choosing a favorite. It's turning both into matchup-proof pieces. Let's map Vanderbilt's remodel. Offense, raise the corner volume from occasional to present. We're not asking for pull-up artistry, just footwork clean, dip minimal, pocket consistent. Benchmark, 1.1 points per possession on spot-ups, 35% from the corners on 2 attempts a game, and a 60% rim finish on cuts. Layer in the DHO game, handoff, rescreen, slip. Make the weak side tagger choose badly. On short rolls, 2 reads, strong corner. Skip if the nail digs, drop off if the low man steps up. If the pass isn't there, 1 dribble, 2 feet through the chest. Vando's defense is the suit he already owns. We're tailoring it. Keep the screen navigation sticky, but cut the reach-ins. Foul economy matters. When guarding star guards, in switches, angle feet to funnel to help, don't chase hero steals. On the glass, it's 2-hand rebounds, elbows wide, pivot out. We want 6 boards in 20 minutes, 2 of them contested. Add 1 surprise press possession, a half to steal. A shot clock. That's a playoff trick. Now Laravia's remodel. Shooting is the headline, but footwork is the story. We'll program his base to land the same way every time. No heel-to-toe drift, no hip sway. Relocation timing with Luka's drive. Lift from corner to break the low man's sight line, or sink to dunker if the corner helper cheats early. Benchmark, 39% on corner threes at volume, 36% above the break on trailers, and a 0.5-second decision time on all catches. Add the slice cut. From the slot when LeBron posts, 2 points, no dribbles. Defensively, Jake needs a bankable coverage. Start with show and recover on big-small pick-and-rolls to protect him from deep isolation. Then graduate to late switches in shot clock emergencies. Closeouts? 2 steps with hands high, then break, don't fly by. Verticality at the rim, jump second, palms to the rafters, chest through the contact. He doesn't have to be Vando. He has to be Vanderproof, good enough that his shooting never leaves the floor in a playoff series. Imagine 2 different game plans, each born from the same locker room and the same ambition. In the first, the Lakers choose persistence and pressure. Marcus Smart leads at the point, Austin Reeves supports on the perimeter. LeBron James orchestrates from the wing. Jared Vanderbilt sharpens the edges with energy and length. And DeAndre Ayton anchors the paint. The intention is simple and relentless. Deny driving lanes before they form, secure every rebound with conviction, and transform defensive stops into quick, controlled offense. Vanderbilt occupies the baseline as a finishing threat, sets purposeful, screening actions to provoke defensive switches, and times his cuts behind distracted defenders so that a moment of inattention becomes a basket. In the second plan, the team stretches the floor until it feels wide as a canvas. Smart and Reeves handle the ball and the reads. LeBron remains the fulcrum. Jake Laravia provides disciplined spacing, and Ayton offers a dependable target near the rim. The objective is to protect matchups in advance, to create open sides of the floor where a single action can force a cascade of choices, and to turn the weak side of the defense into a sequence of impossible calculations. Laravia holds the corner with balance and patience, rises subtly during drives to present a clear passing lane, and becomes the clean outlet that keeps ball movement smooth and effort sustainable for the stars. As training camp begins, minutes are not awarded in ink but penciled carefully with the rhythm of discovery. Over the first 10 games, Vanderbilt might live between 18 and 22 minutes, while Laravia settles between 16 and 20. from games 11 to 30, the player who meets his performance targets earns an increase of roughly 5 minutes. By January, one could be entrusted with 24 to 26 minutes, the other with 14 to 18, rising higher or lower according to the opponent's profile. When the schedule brings consecutive nights, the heavier burden moves to the fresher body. This is not politics. It is the calendar speaking plainly. Now picture the choices that come with particular opponents. Against Denver, Vanderbilt absorbs the handoff actions between Jamal Murray and Nikola Jokic alongside Smart's discipline at the point. LeBron patrols as a second-line reader of mistakes. Laravia finds the least threatening shooter and uses that assignment to hunt passing lanes when the team must tilt toward offense. Against Minnesota, Vanderbilt and Ayton combine to claim the glass, while Laravia stretches a larger defender toward the perimeter, clearing space for drives and slips. Against Dallas, Laravia punishes defenders who help too far on drives by Luka Doncic, and Vanderbilt chases Kyrie Irving through critical fourth-quarter possessions until the clock becomes a defender. Each series writes its own rotation. The remodel gives Coach Redick a reliable pen with fresh ink for every chapter. If you wish to follow this work in depth, remain with us. I will present a detailed study of 3 actions that place Laravia in positions to score efficiently: an organized baseline hammer action, a Spain pick-and-roll that rejects the screen at the last instant, and a precise diagonal cut-through, the lane, and 3 patterns in which Vanderbilt's defense and movement convert stops into layups, an immediate pass ahead after a contested rebound, a strong rip into a dribble handoff that becomes a sudden slip, and a quiet drift along the baseline to appear behind the defense. I will also share the map of minutes and the performance targets so that you may consider your own versions and suggest refinements. The measurements we will pursue are clear. With Vanderbilt on the floor, the team aims to raise its defensive rebounding rate by 4 percentage points, reduce opponents' attempts at the rim by roughly 3 per game, and create 1 additional turnover. With Laravia in the lineup, the team seeks to increase the rate of three-point attempts by 6 percentage points, the assist rate by 3 percentage points, and the number of paint touches that become corner three-pointers by 2 in each half. As a whole, the offense should keep turnovers under 13% of possessions, win approximately 4 more free throws per game than the opponent, and remain among the 8 best half-court attacks even when one of the primary creators rests. That is how a remodel earns its place. Availability is not luck, it is learned. The progression is written with care, shorter stints of 6 to 8 minutes in the first half, 10 to 12 in the second, and strength work on non-game days that emphasizes hips and ankles, the foundations that hold the rest together. The ETSIP medical staff will monitor time under muscular tension and the timing of second jumps on rebounds. If a soft tissue warning appears, minutes decline before a crisis, not after it. A remodel seeks trust, and trust lives where the body endures. Consider the surrounding cast. Rui Hachimura's minutes are stable because his game is stable. The question is who thrives beside him, not who replaces him. Marcus Smart's presence reduces the tolerance for another non-shooter in the same lineup. If Vanderbilt's corner 3 becomes uncertain, spacing collapses. If Laravia's defense softens, his shooting alone cannot hold in May. Everyone now carries a doubled expectation: shoot and defend, cut and box out, speak and rotate. That is how a contender behaves. Think about how the Stars' gifts connect with these roles. With Doncic handling the ball, Laravia's gravity is a quiet advantage. He rises at the proper moment, shows his hands, and punishes overhelp without fanfare. With LeBron in the post, Vanderbilt's cutting restrains reckless help. 1 step of overcommitment, and he appears behind the defense for 2 points. With Ayton involved, both players find nourishment. Vanderbilt as the high-low finisher along the baseline, Laravia as the slot spacer who keeps the roll lane clear and honest. This is not empty theory. It is the geometry of winning over 7 long nights. In the final minutes, the menu is brief and confident. When the team requires a stop, Smart, Reeves, Vanderbilt, LeBron, and Ayton share the floor. They switch across the first 4 positions, ask Ayton to meet the ball screen briefly before recovering, and then secure the rebound with adult certainty. When the team must score, Smart, Reeves, Laravia, LeBron, and either Doncic or Ayton, according to health and game flow, take the stage. The playbook favors an open side of the floor, a subtle decoy screen that becomes a Spain action, and the best decision available to the player who sees the court most clearly. Coach Reddick does not require 10 choices. He needs 5 he trusts. The remodel offers 2 versions of the same truth. There are risks. A team can drift from its identity if it chases feeling over evidence. Vanderbilt's shot may cool at inconvenient times. Laravia's footwork may slow under playoff weight. The answer is discipline in usage. Vanderbilt should resist 3-pointers above the break that do not serve the possession. Laravia should avoid chasing shot blocks that are not his to claim. Each must dominate his lane, one through force and disruption, the other through calm and clarity. There are rewards. The Western Conference tests options more than names. Denver demands maturity. Minnesota demands strength. Dallas demands communication. Oklahoma City demands patience. Boston demands calm under pressure. A remodel that turns 2 questions into 2 answers is the difference between a pleasant season and a June that still belongs to you. Note the financial grace of this approach. No trade is required. No roster must be torn apart. The investment is sweat and attention. If by February one profile clearly refuses to land, a small adjustment at the deadline, a modest second-round pick in exchange for a pure floor spacer or a rugged wing, can complete the picture. This is not a dramatic renovation. It is a careful touch-up. Sound remodels plan for contingencies. Now imagine the first week of April on national television. In the opening quarter, the Lakers present the wide patient version. The floor spreads, the defense chooses a help angle it soon regrets, and Laravia answers from the corner with quiet certainty. Before halftime, the team returns to its pressure. Form. Vanderbilt flies from screen to screen. The passing lanes narrow like closing hands, and an opposing coach is forced to take an early timeout. In the fourth quarter, Coach Riddick turns the rotation like a wheel, returning to the same structure. With new answers, that is how a series tilts, one possession at a time. At last, the question that belongs to supporters as much as to coaches. What do you value most when the season tightens? Uncompromising defense on every trip or unbroken space on every possession? Which matters more against the teams that truly stand between the Lakers and June? Share your imagined distribution of minutes, a division of 24 and 18, or perhaps 22 and 20, with rises according to the opponent. Who finishes against Denver, against Minnesota, against Dallas? Make your case, and it will be heard. If you have read this far, you did not come for passing rumor. You came for structure and proof. The remodel of Jake Laravia and Jared Vanderbilt is not a headline. It is a practice. It teaches 2 professionals to become inevitable within their responsibilities, so that the stars need not carry a heroic burden when the spring air turns heavy. That is how banners stop being dreams and become dates in memory. If you wish to continue with this project, follow the channel and enable notifications. I will bring the film sequences, the target metrics, and the detailed map of minutes so that you may examine, adjust, and propose your own rotation. Here we do not watch the season from a distance. We build the plan that allows the season to belong to us.